I got some tea. Corporate tea, to be more specific, because I just read Careless People, the book that Facebook tried to ban unsuccessfully earlier this year and that made it to the top of all bestsellers lists. Let's talk about it. Careless Whisper. Not Careless Whisper. Careless People is a retelling of the author's time at Facebook from 2011 to 2017 as the director of global policy. I would divide this book into two parts. First part that is more corporate gossip and tea, like I was mentioning, and that it paints a picture of how Facebook grew and how it became increasingly preoccupied about its role in foreign policy. This is a part also in which Sarah characterizes how it was working at Facebook at the time, a time when engineers were gods, and paints a picture of the main characters in this story. For example, Mark Zuckerberg. There are some anecdotal stories of how people would lose on purpose to Mark Zuckerberg when playing Catan with him. The second part, however, delves deeper into some serious issues that Facebook was involved in. Its entry into China and allowing the Chinese government to access data about its users, its involvement in the Rohingya massacre in Myanmar, in which Facebook could have had a much bigger role in stopping hate speech proliferating on the app, or how Facebook would sell ads to companies that allowed them to target people, and specifically teenagers, at their most vulnerable moments. For example, a teenager could be targeted with a beauty ad right after deleting a selfie. Overall, when reading the book, a question was in my mind. How complicit was Sarah in all of this? Because Sarah actually plays the role of a saint, as she says that she was seeing all of these terrible things happen around her, but she believed that she could be a force for good and would do better changing Facebook from the inside than from the outside. She also describes herself as being the least paid in the room, or a person that didn't know how to negotiate a salary or stock options at the company, that was forced into toxic situations by her superiors. For example, writing emails while giving birth to her first child, or being forced to work right after being out of a coma after the birth of her second child. You have situations, though, in which you see that Sarah wasn't that badly paid and that probably she could have gotten a job elsewhere, since she had worked at the United Nations before Facebook and had worked all those years at Facebook. She would have a pretty good resume to get out of the company. There is even one situation in which she mentions that she moved to San Francisco because Mark suggested it so. Girl, have some boundaries in your work. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. It was easy to read and it shed light on some of Facebook's shadiest practices, even though some of this was already public information that I wasn't aware of. So if you like this video, drop a like, a follow, and let me know in the comments if you have or if you plan on reading this book. Bye!